What are the use cases for qualified signing in the finance industry? The digital transformation of the finance industry is in full swing, and no other industry is in bigger need of compliant digital identity with smooth registration, e-signing, and authentication. Seal ID serve a number of EU banks, which has given us invaluable insights into the motives and priorities of moving into the digital signatures of eIDAS. Some banks have adopted qualified signing as the only digital method of signing, but in general, we see two major use cases adopted by industry leaders. The first one is credit arrangements and related documentation, and the second one is remote identification and KYC. So firstly, on credit. One of our clients, ABN AMRO Bank, is future-proofing the bank's practices and quickly transforming processes from wet ink and paper into digital. At the core of their transformation is bringing digital to credit and guarantees. ABN AMRO has moved decisively to implement qualified signing for credit agreements and guarantees in both commercial and consumer segments. But how do you replace a wet ink signature? For financial institutions, the credit side of the business is difficult to transform given the risk involved in these critical balance sheet assets losing enforceability, where they are transformed into ad hoc or inferior digital formats. The qualified signature gives ABN AMRO peace of mind, a best-in-class user experience, the most robust compliance framework for identity and signatures, and e-signed agreements that cannot be disputed in court on the basis of lack of integrity. On remote identification and KYC, one of our valued customers is EU lender Novum Bank, based out of Malta and Holland. Novum operate major lending brands like Casper and Extracata, extending tens of thousands of monthly loans across more than 6 jurisdictions in the EU. As such, Novum needs to adapt to the highest KYC regulation of their target market, for example, Germany, and their banking license jurisdiction, for example, Malta. Starting in Germany, and with more markets to come, Novum use qualified signatures for both e-signing and remote identification for AML KYC purposes. The qualified signature brings the latest and greatest remote identification user experience together with the most robust of compliance frameworks. All EU member state AML legislation recognizes that the qualified signature is a compliant means of remote identification. Not only can Novum offer a lender an instant qualified signature, but it works for Novum in two crucial ways. Firstly, it allows the user to complete an identification remotely in 2 minutes of self-service in 26 languages with just a government-issued identity document. Secondly, the user can sign any loan agreement with a signature that guarantees the integrity of the credit. In summary, credit agreements and remote identification for AML KYC purposes are the fastest growing use cases in the finance industry for qualified signing.